are you planning for franchisee in near future, or you just want to own all the outlets yourself and manage it?
In 2021, I opened my first kitchen in North Calcutta. 22, I opened my second kitchen. 23, 24, third, fourth and 25th, fifth outlet. So that's how the journey was. रात को अगर 12 बजे केक ऑर्डर करना है तो they know we have Land of Cakes as an option. So the first 3 years people knew us because of that. When I traded that off, I was already making a profit of more than a lakh a month.
What about the hiring part? I mean, it's too difficult to hire the right people these days. So how do you manage that? One advice that you want to give to the budding entrepreneurs?
Take risk. So I started this year with a solo trip to Kashmir.
Okay.
So I have always wanted to see snowfall and I have never seen it.
Pretty photos don't build bakeries. Process does. Tonight, I'm not chasing cute. I'm chasing craft. Today, I have Megha Sarayan, founder of Moch by LOC, a desert brand built on standards, not shortcuts. Launches that worked, launches that hurt, and a part that Instagram edits out. The hiring, wastage, shelf life, and so much more. No, this is not just another PR. We are going to show you the real chaos behind building a bakery brand. So Megha, welcome to Non-Stop Bakwas with RG. Why don't you give us a quick introduction about who you are and what you do?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me here. What I do for last 7 years, I am a full-time entrepreneur, baker, and run this bakery chain in Calcutta called Land of Cakes. We've recently rebranded into Moch, and right now we have 5 outlets across Kolkata and Hyderabad. I'm a full-time networker. I host events. So I think that's the brief of what I do in general. So yeah.
So you said that you're a full-time entrepreneur.
Yes.
And you're a baker.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us how did you start this brand of yours? How did the idea come up?
Okay. So it was when I was in the second year of my college. I was 19 years old. It was mainly because I wanted to earn some money, and this seemed like an easy option to start with.
Okay, that's lovely. So you were 19 years old when you started baking. So was this baking from home initially, or it was like you had set up your bakery?
No, so the first 1 month I used my mom's kitchen to bake, and within a month I set up a rented kitchen in the same building where I used to stay. It was this 150, 200 square feet small kitchen space that I rented out, and I hired somebody through Facebook, and that's how I started. That was within a month of me starting LOC.
So how were you juggling like college life
yes.
and the bakery? How was it for you?
So mainly bakery was not in the plan, like at least professional bakery was not in the plan. I started, and Zomato was pretty new in the city, so I just out of chance took a chance, that I would get myself listed on Zomato, and I knew that I didn't even have a license or a name, so why would they even list me? So I just gave my name, Megha Sarayan, and I thought, just one chocolate truffle cake, that's the only thing I thought I could bake. I listed that. So unfortunately, at that point of time, when I came back from college one fine day, I saw that I got an order from Zomato, and that was for chocolate truffle cake.
Wow.
So then I thought I should give it a name. I was studying in Scottish Church College then, and Scotland is called the Land of Cakes. So that's how I gave it a name. And we started with one menu SKU, one item in the menu, and it lasted for almost 3-4 months till we added more items.
Lovely.
And yeah, that's how I started.
So how was the struggle for you? Because see, it's not easy to manage college plus the college
yes.
life, and then you starting your bakery, which was a very random plan for you. I think it was not planned or it was not thought, but it was a random idea that came and you just started with one SKU. How did you manage everything?
I was actually doing a lot of things back then. I was also preparing for my actuarial exams. I was also preparing for my MBA exams. I was giving a test and exam so that I could do ISI, which is like Indian Statistical Institute, masters there, and I was also doing economics honors back then. And I was doing internship at some place so that I could earn money to start this business. And then when I finally started this business, also joined the list of things that I was doing. So it was definitely difficult, but the first thing that I did when I started the business was within few months I hired a manager
Okay.
so that she could take up my calls, she could help me while I was away in
Yeah.
the tuition. So, in my tuition, it was a rule that you cannot switch on your phone. So I had to switch it off
Yeah.
while the time I'm there.
Yeah.
So I could not miss calls because at
Yeah.
that point, Zomato and Swiggy was a thing, but at the same time, it was very convenient for customers to call for each small inconvenience, or
Correct.
small problem.
Correct.
So that is why I had a manager. I had a team of 9 people pre-COVID. So we were easily doing 15 to 20 orders a day pre-COVID. While before this team alone, I was able to do 14, 15 orders a week.
Okay.
So, and then of course, the rest is history.
That's lovely. So, when did you realize that this is exactly what you have to do? Bakery is the only goal that you have in mind.
So again, when COVID hit, I came back to zero. Team strength from 9 to 0, and I was the only one. While I was also preparing for my CAT exams that year, so I had to allocate a part of my day for baking, so that I could keep the business running, or I had to shut it down. There was nothing in between, at least during COVID.
Correct.
So I managed to make at least 15-20 cakes a day, so that our name is not forgotten and the business keeps on running. And while I'm also preparing for my backup plan, which is MBA. But I was pretty sure that I would only go for an MBA when I get IIM Calcutta. There's no other college I would have gone for, because I wanted to manage my bakery alongside MBA. But I didn't get IIM Kolkata, I got IIM Kozhikode, which was also one of my dream colleges. But at the same time, I didn't want to trade off my bakery with MBA. So in 2021, I decided that I would take a loan of 20-25 lakhs rupees, get into a debt trap for another 4-5 years and do MBA. Rather, I would invest the same money, I would take a loan for my business expansion, and that would at least stay with me. So that is exactly what I did. In 2021, I opened my first kitchen in North Calcutta. 22, I opened my second kitchen. 23, 24, third, fourth, and 25th, fifth outlet. So that's how the journey was.
But this is insane. I mean, so you compromised your MBA
Yes.
just to expand your business.
Yes.
But how did you get that confidence? I mean, it takes a lot. It genuinely does.
Mainly because when I traded that off, I was already making a profit of more than 1 lakh a month.
Okay.
So I was sure that even when I do an MBA, it would come only after 3-4 years down the line,
Correct.
and by that time I would be doing even more.
Yeah.
So I was confident about that because I was already into the business for the last 2-3 years. So that's it. I mean, till now, I don't think I'm as much passionate about bakery as much I'm passionate about business. So
Got it.
I really want to do more and more things which is around business, which is around food. I'm also very passionate about food in general and not just baking.
Okay, lovely. So, how was your family towards you? I mean, were they very supportive or were they very indecisive that you should or you should not do this?
I always say this, like, people always appreciate you when you have gotten something on, when you've achieved something.
Correct.
So even when they are very close to you. So initially I was very good in studies. So when I started the bakery, everybody, my family, my parents, my close relatives, close friends, everybody was against it, most of them at least, that you should not be going for this because this is a very risky bet, and when you are a good student, you will not be able to manage both and dono do beta at the same time. So you should choose one. And definitely they were against the business because studies is what
I'm sure,
is a
yeah.
very strong plan where you are not, there's a less chance to that you will fail.
Yeah.
So but I chose the business because that was running, but at the same time I didn't want to completely ignore them.
Yeah.
I was also preparing for my exams till the time I was pretty sure that my bakery is succeeding.
Correct,
So
correct.
I was doing both, but now everybody appreciates the journey.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. So, what was your parents' reaction when you told them that you're taking a 20-25 lakh rupees loan, because it's a lot of money, and I'm sure they must be hesitant कि यार अगर नहीं work किया तो कैसे 25 लाख का loan clear करोगे? So how did you convince them?
I don't think I had to ever convince them because my parents have never told me a yes or no for anything. They had let
Okay.
me do whatever I wanted to or
Okay.
whatever I was sure or confident about.
Okay.
So till today, my parents only come to the opening of the outlets. They don't know the XYZ before
Yeah.
that. So they are so confident in me. They are so sure about my decisions. So उनको कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ता है in this matter. I will tell them. That's it. I don't have to ask them or convince them or something like that.
Makes sense. But don't you think this is like a very big support for you also
Yes.
indirectly because
Yes.
there's no interruption?
The only kind of support I've ever wanted from my parents was this. I don't want any kind of interruptions. That's the best kind of support one can get. Like people who can trust you. Of course, I am very responsible when I am letting them trust me. I don't go beyond
Of
my
course.
boundaries in
Yeah.
some aspects. But at the same time, I keep and take my own decisions.
Great. So you said you have 5 outlets till now.
Yes.
So you started your business in which year?
So technically I started in 2018.
Okay.
But at the same point of time, on a more serious note, I started in 2021.
2021. So let's count. It's been 4 years that officially you have you have 5 outlets till now. So was there any mentor who guided you, supported you in this whole journey, or you did it all alone?
I think there were too many mentors. I cannot just name one because when I started in 2018, I was studying, I was taking an internship with somebody, and that person was the one who had pushed me that I should really go for this. He was the one who helped me name this bakery firstly. And then I have always been a very avid networker, as I mentioned. So I have been a part of almost every networking platform that is existing in Calcutta right now. So I joined BNI when I was in 2020.
Okay.
So, so in 2020 when I was 21,
Yeah.
I guess, just entering 21.
Okay.
So I have met too many people. So of course I was the youngest when I joined. So there are different things that I've gotten help for. For example, I've never known who to get the interior from,
Yeah.
who to get the furniture from, who
Yeah.
to get the financial advice from,
Yeah.
etc. etc. There are too many things. I
Yeah.
never had to go out in the market and look after it. So it's always been people who have guided me, mentored
Correct.
me, and I think that is what networking does to you. The more people you meet, the more experiences you have from them.
100%. 100%. So tell me, was it not very scary for you at the same time? Ki what if you lose it all?
That's the whole point. I never had anything to lose because financially I was not very well off in the first place to even think of losing anything. I invested just rupees 5,000 from my internship money to
Correct.
start this business. So I didn't have anything to lose then. Today, if you say, I am more scared than I was when I started. Because every day it gets more difficult when you are in the journey.
Correct.
It doesn't get easier, it's just more difficult.
Of course, I'm sure. I mean, it
Yes.
gets more stressful, it gets
Yes.
more difficult. So, you said that you have 2 outlets in Hyderabad.
No, just one.
One outlet in
Yes.
Hyderabad. What made you choose Hyderabad among all the cities?
Okay, so I have always wanted to have a pan-India vision for my bakery. I have never wanted to limit myself to one horizon of the country. So when it comes to having a proper taste palette set across pan-India, you need to know what works around in the south part, what works around in the west and the north and the
Correct.
east. So I believe I wanted to start in a location which is not very expensive or difficult to start out with. At the same time, I have some kind of support in that location. So I have a very good family background, a lot of friends. I recently raised investment and one of my investors is also based out of Hyderabad.
Oh,
So
lovely.
It was a very good support to start out in Hyderabad. Plus, my target audience happens to be corporate.
Okay.
So Hyderabad has a booming corporate audience.
Right, that's right.
And I feel Bangalore and Bombay on the other side is very saturated.
Correct.
So I feel cosmopolitan taste, audience, everything I could have easily gotten in Hyderabad to start out with. Plus it's a very central location. If you see Bombay is close, Pune is close, Bangalore is close, Chennai is close. Every other location is very close to Hyderabad.
Correct.
So that way it acts as a very good hub. So I think that's one of the reasons why I started.
So, you said you have an investor on board.
Yes.
So, how did this investor idea came in your mind that कि ये करना है, and how did you convince him? Because I'm sure this was your first investor pitch also. So, were you nervous? What were you feeling?
I think I have only seen the positive side of it. It was just last year when I thought, I should raise an investment, and it was only because I was pretty sure that this business is ready to scale. We have perfected almost SOPs and why we want to scale, how we want to scale, all the hows and whys. So I knew all we need right now is money
Correct.
to scale up, and investment seemed like a only option how we could do that. So that's how I pitched to a few people. Luckily, I have been able to convince a few to invest, and yes, I don't think I was nervous, but I have definitely learned a lot about my own business.
So you recently opened the outlet in Hyderabad?
Yes,
Like,
in April end only.
oh, that's lovely. So it's very fresh. So are you planning for franchisee in near future, or you just want to own all the outlets yourself and manage it?
I am not sure about 10 years down the line, but definitely in the next 2-3 years, I don't have plans for franchises. But I don't want to comment on that because we never know if a good opportunity comes by.
Fair, makes sense. So tell me, I mean, you're just 25 or
26,
26 if
yeah.
I'm not wrong. That's lovely that in 26, you're 26-year-old and you have 5 outlets in Calcutta plus Hyderabad there's one.
Yes.
So I'm sure बहुत सारे डिफ़िकल्टीज भी आए होंगे और बहुत सारे ऑब्स्टिकल्स भी आए होंगे जो मतलब कि आपने कभी सोचा ही नहीं होगा कि अच्छा ये प्रॉब्लम भी आ सकती है. कैन यू टेल मी वन इंसिडेंट दैट ब्रोक यू बट ऑल्सो मेड यू फील दैट ओके आई कैन गो थ्रू दिस इंसिडेंट ऑल्सो.
आई थिंक हर साल एक ऐसा इंसिडेंट होता है वेर आई फील दिस इज़ द वर्स्ट दैट आई हैव सीन, एंड नेक्स्ट ईयर आई थिंक कि नहीं ये ज़्यादा ख़राब हो गया. But then every year I have seen that I have gone through that and I have overcome that. And in a way that next time I am very confident that this problem will be there, and I'm so used to this kind of problem, like being in the business, that ये तो होना ही है.
हाँ.
तो मतलब ठीक है, this is a natural part of the business.
हाँ.
You have to take it as a part and parcel and you have to deal with it. So I don't think ऐसा major problem आया है which I haven't been able to deal with it. But when I am in the problem, I definitely feel this is getting too much. I am unable to deal with it, but I somehow figure it out. I think that's one quality every founder should be having, which is trying to figure it out.
Correct.
You don't know it all, but you will find ways how to do it.
राइट राइट. बट हाउ डू यू मोटिवेट योरसेल्फ? आई मीन कभी कभी इतने ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाती है कि लगता है कि छोड़ो यार सब बंद करके बैठ जाते हैं.
नहीं, मेरे को कभी ऐसा नहीं लगता. मेरे को प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज़्यादा आते हैं, बट मैंने कभी ऐसा नहीं सोचा कि सब बंद करके बैठ जाते हैं.
हाँ.
बिकॉज आई हैव नेवर सीन इट एज एन ऑप्शन.
ओके.
Like I have worked hard for last 7 years and maybe even before that,
Yeah.
to be able to do this today.
करेक्ट.
I don't think I've ever seen it as an option to switch or maybe do something else.
Correct.
Maybe I can just do better things along this in time.
Yeah.
But I've never thought of quitting.
Makes sense. I mean that's a very positive
Yes.
outlook that you have कि नहीं यार मतलब कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, यही है, दिस इज माई ब्रेड एंड बटर एंड प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी तो आएंगी बट आई एम गोना फेस इट लाइक अ बॉस कि ठीक है. सो टेल मी व्हाट इज योर ब्रांड स्पेसिफिकली नोन फॉर?
Okay. So when I started with a 24 hours outlet approach. So
Okay.
मुझे पता नहीं था कि करना क्या है.
हाँ.
तो it was the easiest thing to do, and also because I was not doing it from a cafe or a physical outlet space, it was easier for me to take that decision back
Yeah.
then. So I started with 24 hours. मेरा एक ही लॉजिक था कि मे बी विजिबिलिटी बढ़ेगा.
हाँ.
क्योंकि रात को 2 बजे कभी और कोई बेकरी नहीं खुला रहेगा, मेरा रहेगा.
हाँ.
So I did it for first 5-6 months and my family faced a lot of issues because
I'm
of that.
sure.
Because रात को 1 बजे, 2 बजे, 3 बजे I was just going baking and giving out
हाँ.
for the cake. So they felt it's not safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, and even I did after a point of time because I also had to go to college in the morning. So it was very difficult for me to
Yeah.
manage that. So that's when we decided कि रात को 12 बजे तक करते हैं.
हाँ.
तो 12 बजे तक करने के बाद I realized my main order push comes after 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And when you look at the data, it also says that cakes are mostly ordered around that time
Okay.
because people celebrate birthdays around
Yeah.
midnight. So evenings after office, especially on weekdays, you get a lot of dessert push because it's a very it's a craving product.
Yeah.
So automatically people will order around that time. So I feel my bakery is known for cravings and not just cakes. And that's how we call it. It's a craving solution brand and not a bakery brand.
Right.
So I don't want you to look at from a perspective that I am selling cakes. I am selling your cravings depending on your mood.
Correct.
So it's not restricted to just happiness or celebrations as a product category. It is relevant even in the other moods that can be midnight cravings, that can be emotional stress busters, that can be PMS, that can be, you know, just binge eating when you
Yeah.
just like, it can be different things. So I think it's a mood driven, emotion led craving solution brand. So that's something I feel is a differentiator. And secondly, ours is one of a kind, only 100% eggless veg brand, which I think we are going to do it in a pan-India level. Secondly, we operate in a wide space. We are
Okay.
giving a good quality product
Yeah.
in a very accessible price point. So it's not massy in terms of quality or price points. It's not premium
Yeah.
in terms of price points.
Correct.
So we are giving a good quality product at a very accessible price point. So our target audience happens to be the Gen Zs, young urban
Yeah.
working professionals. Age group is between 18 to 35. So that, I think that's what people are looking for. That रात को अगर 12 बजे केक ऑर्डर करना है तो they know we have Land of Cakes as an option. So the first 3 years people knew us because of that. Because और कुछ था नहीं.
Correct.
अभी तो there are still other bakeries which are
Yeah.
also operating around
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah. But yeah, in your page, when I was studying, I saw that, yeah, that's your main USP, and people are giving you reviews because of that. Ki, thanks for the midnight solution. Ki, mujhe cake khane ka man tha, and you were the one who delivered it.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So tell me, one bad review that you received from a customer, which was too hard to take, but you worked on it and you improvised that specific product.
I think bad reviews again are a part and parcel. Depends on the kind of review you're getting. Like for instance, for the first 3 years, I was too obsessed with the reviews. Like, I used to actually cry when I read a very bad review. I was very emotional about it. Now I have gotten used to it. कि दिन में it's a chance that I get 0.05% customers have rated you bad, because it's not possible to satisfy everyone.
Correct.
So yes, and depends on the kind of reviews they have given. For instance, if you've complained about the size of the product, if you're not satisfied with the price point, if you're not satisfied, probably you like the brownie fudgy, but we make it cakey, and that's
Yeah.
already mentioned in the description.
Yeah.
If you liked your brownie in a 3-inch, but
Yeah.
we have given you 2-inch, and that's already mentioned in the description, that's
Yeah.
not something we can do about.
Yeah.
Because that's mentioned. Yes, when people complain about the quality, when people complain about the taste, we definitely try to look into it, and we have always taken that feedback every day,
Yeah.
every night. Till now, I read all the reviews and immediately on an outlet level take action, immediate action. So that's something we have always been doing, and I don't think I will ever stop doing that. Because even our outlet level managers are totally responsible for the reviews that comes to our outlet.
100%.
Yes, yes.
100%. So काफी वेस्टेज भी होती होगी क्योंकि शेल्फ लाइफ भी काफी कम है.
So luckily we have been able to control our wastage within 1%.
Okay.
So that's because we have been able to project our sales very well. Because we know क्या बिकेगा, कितना बिकेगा, कब बिकेगा. We know on a meal time what kind of products are going to be sold. How many of them are going to get sold, and at what time are they getting sold. So maybe around evening we know what kind of stock to maintain. Around lunchtime we know what kind of stock of which product to be maintained. So this is something we have been able to project really well, and it has worked for us.
Oh, that's insane. So I mean, आप अपनी वेस्टेज को 1% तक कंट्रोल कर ही लेते हो कि ज़्यादा वेस्टेज नहीं हो तो. And what about the shelf life?
It's within 2 days for most products. Like we don't sell a product beyond 2 days. Like if it's manufactured today, I can sell it today and tomorrow at max, and then we don't sell that product. we've been able to maintain that for all our products for across the brand. And there's some products which have a bigger shelf life. So
Right.
we have also tried to design the menu in a way that we know that 50% plus items on the menu have a bigger shelf life, like the cheesecakes, like the ice creams, like a chocolate mousse, for instance. So these are items which hold the maximum share of sales for us. At the same time, they have higher shelf life. So we're able to maintain the wastage accordingly, and products which have a smaller shelf life, we've been able to manufacture accordingly.
That's lovely. I mean, the fact that you've planned it all, I mean, it's insane. What about the hiring part? I mean, it's too difficult to hire the right people these days. So, how do you manage that?
I think hiring has always been a challenge. So when you've done it all at one point of time, it's very difficult to trust somebody with the same responsibility, or maybe to do it as good as you've done it. So hiring has always been a challenge, and in this industry, especially the food industry, attrition has been a real thing.
Correct.
So I have always tried and hire accordingly, that we never go out of people. At the same time, our people are working enough, hard enough, that even if somebody is not in the position right now, they can fill in for the time being. So we've been able to manage the hiring and attrition accordingly, although it's very difficult even today. Yeah.
So, Megha, tell me, which is that one product that is your best seller? Like, people are crazy about.
So our chocolate truffle happens to be the first product that we ever launched in our bakery 7 years back, and it still happens to hold the maximum market share for us. Like it's very different from what you get in the market. It's a little more rich and thick in terms of the ganache that we use and the density. So maybe that's something that people like, and maybe that's a differentiating point for some customers. So that's definitely our best seller. And then I feel we have found our hero product, that's the date walnut cake. That's something we've recently launched, and it holds more than 20% of our market share today.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that's a healthier product, I would say, and that's going well.
So, you just said that you have a healthier product.
Yes.
So, do you sell and make healthy cakes and pastries as well?
So we do not have a lot of options, but we do have 3 to 4 options on our menu, and of them, 2 of them are doing really well in terms of date walnut cake, which is basically a no maida, no sugar, no refined oil or butter used cake, and since it also has chocolate, people have loved it. And apart from that, we also have high protein cheesecake, which is a 30-gram cheesecake, just chocolate cheesecake, but it has no added sugar. And at the same time, since it's chocolate, people have been able to take the taste very well. And some people are like repeat orders in a way that they order every single day, and they use
wow.
it as a meal replacement.
Oh, wow.
Because it's under 550 calories with 30
Yeah.
grams of protein, so that easily goes as a meal.
That's fantastic. Are you planning to launch more healthy products like this? Because I think in the market, there are very less bakers who are doing this.
So definitely we would want to launch it. We have tried and launched a lot of products and discontinued, and maybe keep launching, and we discontinue if it does not work out. So we keep doing the R&D and trials and errors. So if it works out, if something really works out well for us, then we'll keep it. So recently we launched a ragi cake. So probably the price point that the customer expected didn't match. So that's why it didn't work well. So there are different products that we keep on launching. If it works well, we try to keep it in the menu. But we also try to make sure that the taste palette is really well set with the customer audience. What I've seen is, if it's a healthy product but at the same time it's also tasty, is what people are wanting. At the same time, at an accessible price point.
Of course.
कोई नहीं चाहता कि वो 500 रुपए दे और 500 कैलोरी भी ले और टेस्टी भी ना हो.
100%. That's a very buzzkill. Ki if it's not tasty, even if you're demanding 1,000 rupees and it's not tasty, then it's not
1,000
worth
rupees
it.
be something people will not pay every day.
Yeah.
So I want, if you want, healthy to become a part of your lifestyle, then it has to be at a very accessible price point.
Correct.
तो अगर हम 300 रुपये के अंदर एक healthier version of cake दे रहे हैं, वो tasty भी है, or at the same time you have the potential to order it every single day or maybe once a week if you had to cheat. Maybe I would also call that a cheat because you're taking in calories
Of
if you
course.
have to. So I think that's what we're looking at.
Makes sense. And do you think in future the healthy desserts are going to be also a major part of your business? Because now you see people have become very conscious about what they're eating, how they're eating, why they're doing all these things.
I will never categorize my bakery to be in the healthier section. I would definitely have a healthy section under my brand. Although our bakery will never preach healthy, our bakery is always standing by cravings, because when
course.
you are having a craving, you will not mind taking in calories in the form of sugar,
Of
because
course.
you're not eating every day.
Right.
So a product which is meant for everyday consumption could be categorized as a healthier product brand or something. So I feel healthy products can be a part of my category, and maybe if that is growing with time, we'll introduce more and more products, or maybe the existing products
Yeah.
can have a bigger share in sales. So that can always be a possibility. But yes, nevertheless, the tastier products will definitely be a part of the menu.
Nice. That's lovely. Now, do you like traveling? Do you like going out?
Yes, I think I have taken easily 36, 37 flights this year already.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And do you travel solo or with your family?
I don't think I've done any family trips this year. It's always been solo, or twice it has been with friends. It's mostly solo.
So, where all have you traveled till now?
So I started this year with a solo trip to Kashmir.
Okay.
So I have always wanted to see snowfall, and I have never seen it. I had never seen it, and this was my first snowfall in Kashmir, and it was solo. So the experience was very different. And I have traveled to Bombay, Delhi a couple of times
Yeah.
this year, but that has majorly been because of work.
Yeah.
So I will not want to count that. And apart from that, I've done two trips this year. One was Malaysia and the second was Georgia. It was with friends.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely. So, the Kashmir trip was your first solo trip ever?
Uh, Technically, yes, because on the other trips, I have had friends join me in the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what motivated you to go for a solo trip?
So, firstly, because my friends need permission and I don't.
Yeah.
So, in a peak, winter season, most of my friends were not getting the permissions
Yeah.
because of what Kashmir is presumed to be in terms of safety.
Yeah.
But I definitely know. I mean, I knew that I wanted to see snowfall, and that's the only time I could see it.
Yeah.
So I was sure that I'm going. If nobody's going, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons, and I enjoy my own company. And it had been a very hectic year last year for me, because I also opened my cafe in December end. So
Okay.
it was within 20 days that I also decided that I'll open an outlet in Hyderabad, which is why I needed some break in between, and I knew I had to go for a trip.
So, solo trips are not boring for you, I think.
It's not at all, because most of the places I've been this year has been solo.
Because even I go for solo trips and I love it. I mean,
Yes.
it's the best thing that you can gift yourself.
I mean, I don't mind having a company, but as long as I also get my space when I want.
Yeah, that's so true, like 100%.
Yes.
So, other than working, what else do you like doing in your free time?
I mean, you might feel that I'm answering it in a very biased way, but I really like working. So even when I am in my free time, my mind keeps on working. I mean, that might not be the best quality, but that's how it works for me. So maybe not just about LOC, it keeps thinking about different things, different ideas that I could possibly do in today or maybe some other day. But I keep on thinking, I keep on doing things, and I think I like working a lot. So if I am not working, that gives me more stress than I am working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, just imagine
Yeah.
if there's a day when you have to be home
Yeah.
and you can't attend calls, you can't go to work. Okay?
That is very stressful for me. Because I am always concerned what's happening behind my back. But there have been many days, especially when I'm on my trips. So it has been thrice, especially this year, that my team has also been very cooperative, that only when it's necessary they'll reach out to me, and I make sure I'm always available, at least on WhatsApp. So whenever I get a message within 15-20 minutes, I tend to respond. So that's how quick I am in terms of handling my team. But at the same point of time, I really do not mind not having to use my phone, being at home. At the same time, But at the same time, I would want time engaged in some or the other thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit idle. Probably I'm cooking, probably I'm watching something, probably I'm sitting with my friends, but I don't want to sit idle. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be able to do that.
That's lovely. So, do you, do your parents give pressure to get married or something? No, there's no stress.
There's no stress about marriage. They have given me the full liberty. I can choose when I want to get married. So they also know that I am at that point of my career where I am focusing on my career and they let me do it. They know I also understand the fact that I have to get married someday. So I can choose when I want to.
That's lovely. So I'm sure, like you're young, you're just 26, and you have 5 outlets, everything. There might be people or people you know. I'll not specifically mention friends, but people you know who might be envious of you or who might taunt you or say like negative things to you. How do you manage that?
I don't manage that at all. I mean,
Do you not let it get into your head?
no, matlab, most of the times I don't even understand if somebody's taunting me. Like I only see the positive side of things. Like I see if people are giving me a compliment. I see, of course, I take negative feedback when it's something that I need to
100%.
improve. But on the other end, I don't feel bad about things because I sometimes don't even notice these things. Like if somebody's taunting me, sometimes I forget about it. So I don't think I notice all of these things. And when it comes to friends, I have made sure that I don't have those kind of friends who I can call friends who are not very happy with what I'm doing.
Makes sense. Totally. So, Megha, do you watch movies or you Netflix and chill to relax yourself?
I mean, to relax myself, I don't need to watch anything. I think the main thing which gives me a lot of calm and peace is when things are going right in work. But at the same point of time, if I have to watch a movie, it has to be in theaters. I'm not a Netflix and chill person. I cannot watch movies on TV or maybe sitting on my phone. I cannot do that unless I'm sitting with my friends or maybe once in a year when I'm too free to, give that kind of a time. And if I'm really watching a movie on Netflix, that would be the same old SRK movies that I've watched 40, 50 times. Yes.
No brainer, like completely
I don't
no
want to
brainer.
use my brain when I'm actually relaxing.
Makes sense, makes sense. So, if there is one advice that you want to give to the budding entrepreneurs, what would that be?
I don't think there's just one advice. The main, I think, would be to, take risk because most entrepreneurs do not succeed or do not get into the next step is because they want to be very much risk averse. They do not want to take risks. And I think you can take risk as long as you're careful in each of the steps. And the second is the power or maybe the ability to figure out, as I've already mentioned.
Correct.
Like if you think you don't know anything, that's not a problem. As long as you believe in yourself कि कुछ भी हो मैं कर लूँगी या कुछ भी हो I'll be able to do it.
Correct.
So you will manage ways, you will try and figure out things. So that is something that's an ability I think we all should have. And the third thing is inquisitivity, which I think आपको हमेशा मतलब it's just a thrill that
Yeah.
you want to know about things.
Yeah.
If it's about your own business or your own subject,
Yeah.
you will want to know more and more
Correct.
things. So
Correct.
I think when you have that, it does not matter if you've been through that curriculum, if you've been through that experience, you will always manage to find it. You will always manage to, understand how it has to be done.
Makes sense, 100%. So, Megha, this podcast with you has been very inspiring, where you've spoken about, how and why did you start your bakery and what all have you done to figure things out, which is not easy. I mean, at the age of 26, you have 5 outlets, you're managing like a boss, and looking at your attitude and your behavior, it feels so fantastic because you're so confident also. You're sure, I mean, you're okay with the problems that are coming in. You're not the person who would give up. You're the person who would push somebody and be like, nahi yaar, chalo karte hain, continue karte hain. I think our viewers would be very inspired to watch this and to know that, okay, like if you can do it, then a 45-year-old
Yes.
can also do it.
I always say that if I can do it, if I have been able to do it, anyone can do it.
This is fantastic. I mean, I'm honored that you came to this podcast.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you so much for coming. It was
Thank you.
lovely having you.